Hi, everyone. Thank you for joining today. It's going to be a very, very packed webinar because we're going to cover all aspects of Shopify growth. Usually, I just target one of them. So today will be a lot to cover. And this is the latest best practices based on what I see in the market right now to grow your app. So let's begin. A few words about me for those that don't know me well. I'm a repeat founder. I founded Route Perfect, which is a travel technology startup, and Convert2X and Price, which I'll talk about it in a few words. So Price.io is a Shopify app growth platform. Launched about 10 months ago. We have about 400 apps connected to Price, and I'll be showing you some things that you can do with Price. You can maybe do it in other ways as well, but things you can do with Price that are related to your growth for this presentation. And the reason I know something about growth is because I'm also founder of Convert2X.com, which is a Shopify app growth consultancy. It's been around for about 7 years now, and we've worked with about 100 Shopify apps on growth, small, big, very big, some of them. So this is where the knowledge comes from, both from what we did together and also from what I learned from all these founders, and also what we can see that's working within the platform Price. So how do you grow your Shopify app to 100K plus in 2026? Or if you're already there, how do you keep growing? It's 3 pillars of growth. One of them is traffic. You need to feed the top of your funnel. You need to bring in relevant merchants, so traffic. And then you need to convert them. You need to take them through the steps of your funnel until they finish your funnel. And you need to monetize. At some point, you need to ask them for money, they need to agree, and you need to take what you can take based on the value you provide and your competitive environment. So why should you pay attention? I'll just show you a few benchmarks that we have in Price based on 400 apps that are connected. So from App Store visit to new paying customer, the conversion rate. For the average app, that's 2%. For the top quartile, that's about a little bit more than 50% higher. And it means that for every lead that they get into their top of the funnel, they get much more paying customers out of each one. And Shopify app install value, so the average is $43. The top quartile is $71. And the apps that are in the top quartile, they can aim, they can be much more aggressive in Shopify Ads, for instance, because they can be profitable even if their cost per install is much higher than the average app. And this is how they keep on growing. And the third point I want to show you here from the benchmarks is that the Shopify app MRR growth rate for the average app, it's 42% per year, not bad at all. But for the top quartile, it's almost double per year. The top quartile of apps connected to Price, so 100 out of 400. And these apps, what they do is they nail their acquisition and the conversion and monetization, and then they can grow and grow and grow. So this is why you should pay attention. The structure of this webinar is the intro, which we're finishing now, and then we'll talk about user acquisition, and then we'll talk about monetization and pricing. After that, funnel optimization, and that's it. Then I'll take some questions. So throughout the presentation, if you have questions, like I said, just put them into your into what you see in the webinar, and I'll address them at the end. So user acquisition. For user acquisition, the main traffic sources that Shopify apps use are ASO, App Store Optimization, or App Store SEO. Shopify, and I will talk about this in detail. Shopify search ads, Google search ads. I will talk about all 3 of these in detail. And then I see many apps experimenting with Meta and Reddit. Since I have access to data for many apps, I can see that I don't look at all the apps, but sometimes I look to see other things. But I don't see many succeeding with Meta. I don't see many succeeding with Reddit. I don't see any success with Meta or with Reddit, to be honest. So I'm not going to develop this in this presentation. Those that are trying, good luck, and hopefully you'll succeed, and we'll learn from that. But so far, I haven't seen. And of course, you can also do partnerships, affiliates, and many other marketing activities. I just won't deal with them in this presentation, but of course, they can be effective. So we will talk about App Store SEO, Shopify Search Ads, and Google Search Ads. So let's start with App Store SEO, ASO. The problem with App Store SEO is that on the one hand, it's hard to prioritize keywords to target. It's maybe the first 2-3, it's not so hard, but then when you get lower and lower in a keyword list that you want to target, it's hard to know which ones work better, which ones have more volumes, which ones you should target, which ones are most effective. And also, once you know the keywords, it's hard to know how to optimize your listing for them, because your listing is very much affected by how you use your keywords. But it's hard to know exactly what to do with it. So I will try to make it clearer in this webinar. And the result of all this is that app developers miss traffic and they get fewer installs, which is not what we want. So step one is to prioritize your keywords. What you need to know, one of the two most important parts is volume. And for volume, at the moment, the best thing to do is kind of a hack, is to look at Shopify Ads and go into one of your campaigns which has a lot of data. So maybe it looks back at a year or maybe more, but a lot of data. And then it's very useful if you have a lot of words in exact match, because then you'll have exact details. And then what you can do is you can rank them by impressions and write down how many impressions each keyword has. And then you can also capture how much visibility each keyword has. And you take impressions, divide by visibility, and this gives you a sense of the volume that at least you can see for the period you're looking and whatever countries you're active in and so on. So it doesn't give you the full volume of searches, but it gives you the volume for your campaign. And then what you can do is you can do this for each keyword, and you can rank them in relative volumes, which should reflect the real relative volumes out there that are possible. So just to make this completely clear, let's say you have 1,000 impressions, but you have 50% visibility for your ad. It means that there are actually 2,000 searches, but you only get 50% visibility. So you do impressions divided by visibility to get to the relative number of searches. And based on this, you can rank the keywords by volume. But volume is not enough, because maybe some high volume keywords are just not so relevant for your app, and you don't get installs, you don't get paying customers. So the next thing you need to look at is quality. So quality, you can see some data in Shopify Ads for sure, but you can also get really deep data, including revenues by keyword for Shopify Ads in price. And it looks like this. I had to cover the keywords because this is a real app, but you can see for each keyword how much revenues it had. And you can see App Store visits, installs, subscriptions, new paying customers, conversion rate, and lifetime value. And some other things, but this is the important part for the value. So you want to see how well they convert and how much revenue you got from each keyword. So this together with the volumes lets you see what are the best keywords to target in terms of volume and value. So you can move up the ones with high quality and high volume in priority. And ultimately, you want to sort your keywords in 1, 2, 3 in tiers of first priority, second priority, and third priority. I like to do 5 keywords per tier, but you can do whatever you feel is right. Just that the listing in your app, the content space in your App Store listing is very limited. So you have to limit also how many keywords you put in each tier. So I think 5 is like the maximum for tier 1 and 2. 3, you can go with more keywords. If you have a new app, if you don't have many reviews, if you don't have many installs, then my suggestion to you is to focus on niche keywords first, because if you go for short tail, you're just not going to be on the first page, or even if in the first page, you'll be at the bottom of the page, which is not going to give you many clicks. So try to own 1, 2, 3, second, third order keywords, and then as you grow in installs, reviews, then you can move up in terms of how short the tail of your keywords is. So that's about the prioritization. And then the next thing is to optimize your listing. So what does that mean? It means you need to write your copy in a way that places the keywords by priority. So the top priority placements in your App Store listing are your app name, where you have 30 characters, which is the #1 real estate for SEO. And then after that is subtitle with 62 characters. And after that is the intro. So what you want to do is you take your top keywords and you make sure that they're placed in these places, actually even more than one. So you might want to take your #1 keyword, put it in your name. So app name plus #1 keyword, plus more if you have space. And also maybe subtitle or intro, at least 2 of the 3. And then you have, and then it's strong. And you might want to also put it in other places, but you for sure want to put it in the top priority places if it's a top priority keyword. And then for the third priority keywords, you can't fit them all in this limited amount of characters, around less than 200 characters in total, which is not many words. I won't count now. I'll calculate now. But you can take, and then the lower priority ones you push into the description, which is lots of space, 500 characters. And the bullets, which is also lots of space, 5 bullets times 80 characters each. So this is where you push your lower priority keywords. And also you take your top 5 priority keywords, you add them in the Shopify Partners Admin. There's a place to add the top keywords. And you also optimize in the same way the SEO title and description for Google search, which will bring you some traffic from Google search. So while you're doing it, do that as well. But in the same format. So you take your top priority keywords and you put them in the top priority of your SEO title and description. The third step is to monitor and optimize. So it's pretty amazing, but an hour or even less really after you change your listing, you'll be able to see ranking changes. But to be sure, wait a day or two and then look there. And if you see that some short tail keywords you were going for, you're not on the first page, or if you see that some other keywords that you meant to promote, you're not where you want to be, then maybe do some iterations. You just change copy. Like I said, minutes later, your position has changed, so you can see what's working until you optimize to the fullest. But even after you optimize to the fullest, and in the one session that you have, things change over time. You get more installs, less installs, new reviews. You have more competitors. You have new keywords that look promising. You drop on some keywords and you don't manage to go higher. So you should be tracking this your keywords ranking over time, and looking for opportunities, and you should be optimizing your listing periodically because it's dynamic. So that's about SEO, ASO. Let me show you an example. So of like I said, I also have an agency. So this is work of the agency for ASO, and this is a real app that had this data. This is a screenshot, and most of the screenshots I'll show you are from Price. So we're looking at Shopify search traffic only, and you can see here August, September, and October. On September 29th, they made the changes. So the same process. First of all, keyword prioritization, and then copy changes for the listing. They actually implemented it on September 29th. So we can say all of September is the old version and all of October is the new version. And they had here about 200 visits from Shopify Search. And here they had 2.5 times 500 visits from Shopify Search. And more importantly, if we look at installs, which is what we want paying customers, but this is installs are closer to that, to that. So for in September, they had 53, I remember this number, 53 installs. And then October, 154. And actually, I can tell you guys that they kept this in November and December. So in fact, they got 3 times almost the installs, or 100 extra installs a month, which they keep just by doing this keyword prioritization and copy optimization one time. They haven't changed it since, and they kept all these extra installs. So that's SEO or ASO. Let's talk about paid search. So a poll. Let me ask you guys to do a poll. Just give me a second. Which ad platforms do you use? Let me see where I can send you this poll. Give me a second. Polls. All right. Okay. So you can check more than one, and please submit and send it, and I'll share the results with everyone. Okay, anybody else voting? Last chance to vote and be heard. Okay, I'm going to publish the results. So I hope you guys can see. I have another screen so I can see. So almost everyone uses Shopify Ads, not surprising, but that's what makes it so competitive. More than I expected use Google Ads, so great. So not many use Meta Ads, and I hope it's working for you, or if it is, please share. And Reddit Ads the same, LinkedIn, and none, only one. So interesting. Okay, so let's continue now with the presentation. So let's talk about Shopify Ads. The challenge in Shopify Ads is that the competition is intensifying all the time from existing apps and also from new apps entering the ecosystem every week. I watch it every week. It's crazy how fast it's growing. It used to be on a big week was 50 new apps released. Now easily it's 150 a week. So competition is intensifying and you guys feel it. And this means that the ad costs are rising fast and ROI is under pressure. So, to succeed, you need to optimize. And to optimize, these are the steps. So step 1, use both exact and broad. Exact lets you control the bid for each keyword, and you do this on the keywords that are proven and you want them exactly. And broad lets you capture permutations of these keywords. So maybe typos, maybe these keywords plus more keywords, and often you get very, very good clicks for cheap this way. So you want to have broad. But the problem with broad is that you also get a lot of garbage. So you need to review your Shopify Ads search terms report weekly. The way I like to do it is I go to search terms and then I sort it by spend. And when I sort it by spend, it shows me all the ones that money was spent on, and by priority of spend. And then the next thing to do is to add irrelevant terms as negative keywords. For high-performing keywords, you want to increase the bids, maybe put them in exact if they came from broad. And the ones who are not so good, you want to lower the bids. Price has, I think, a cool feature that allows you, well, it's a cool feature, you'll see in a second. that allows you to add new keywords to your campaigns, to your account. And the way it does it is it looks at, first of all, where it says keyword is really search terms. So price looks at search terms. So it captures many permutations, many typos. And then what it does is it looks at the last 30 days of your Shopify ads, and all keywords that have some signals of value, which means maybe they have revenues, or maybe if they don't have revenues, they have subscribers or installers for apps that are not like this one that have revenues, even on the apps that on keywords they don't target. It shows you a list of keywords that have signals of quality. And then you can, it doesn't show here in the screenshot, but you can download these keywords very easily. And then you can copy them with commas in between, which is the way to enter them into Shopify ads. And then you stick them into Shopify ads every couple of weeks. And then you have a new campaign, which is new keywords. And you're growing all the time in keywords by capturing these search terms, which come from your data. Yeah, these are search terms that came from your data that have some signals of quality. And what this means in terms of your results is this is one example. They're not all like this, but this is a good one. So what you have covered here is the main campaign for this app in a period of time. And in the main campaign, they got 117 installs for an average, of $10 per install. Okay, this is from their main campaign, 117 installs for $10 per install. In their price-adjusted keywords campaign, which every 2 weeks adds new keywords that come from price, from the new keyword suggestions, they had almost the same amount of installs at a third almost of the cost per install. So they almost doubled their reach in terms of installs, but the second half of their doubling came at 1/3 of the cost per install. So altogether, lower cost per install. So it's very useful to find these search terms that are hiding, including typos, that you can then cover in your Shopify ads and make sure your competitors are not taking, and you get this traffic for really, you get the installs for really cheap, and they're high quality installs. So that's Shopify ads. Let's move on to Google ads. So for Google ads, the opportunity is that because Shopify ads are crowded and costly, so while Shopify ads are crowded and costly, Google ads allow for cheaper traffic because there's less competition. As you guys saw in your own poll, less Shopify app developers actually go for Google ads. But the problem is that in the past there was some hacks around this, but no more. You must add Shopify as a negative keyword, as a phrase match negative. But the opportunity, despite this problem, is Google Ads AI, and Google Ads AI does just amazing things. So before we look at Google Ads AI, and we will in a second, let's look at the setup for a second. So to set up, you have to have Shopify as a phrase match negative. So you have to do this in your campaign. You can start without, but within weeks to very few months, you're going to get a letter from Shopify asking you to do it. And if you don't, they're going to, yeah, you better do it. So you might start without, but eventually you have to anyway. And then what do you do if you can't use Shopify? So what you do is you target kind of generic searches, which don't say the word Shopify because you can't use the Shopify searches, inventory for e-commerce, and you can develop this for many, many more. And to make sure you're not wasting your funds on other platforms, so if you're going, you can add all the other platforms as negative keywords. And if you want a list of these negative platforms, I have it. So just ping me after the webinar, and I'll send you big list over 100. So you can add them as negative keywords, and then all the searches that have them, at least you're not going to appear for them. And send the clicks to your App Store listing, both because it's one less click than sending to your landing page, and because you can do tracking all the way with price, and I think with other tools as well. Well, maybe not all the way with other tools, but you can do tracking quite deep if you send to your App Store listing. And a third reason is that when you send your Google Ads to your App Store listing, if you have this URL, apps.shopify.com, and then the specific URL of the app, then automatically Google, see, this is sponsored, so it's an ad. Automatically, Google adds the bag icon and adds the word Shopify, and this will also appear in, well, no, it doesn't have to appear in bold, but anyway, it says App Shopify. So all these are signals for the merchant that even though they didn't specifically say Shopify, this is from the Shopify ecosystem. So you would get less, not completely none, but less clicks of the wrong kind of traffic, because with Shopify, with Google Ads, especially if you can't say the word Shopify, you do get clicks that are not really for the Shopify ecosystem. They're not merchants, or they don't want to be merchants, so it's not relevant. But we'll talk about how that works anyway. And then the second step is enable Google Ads AI. So you start with manual CPC until you have about 30 conversions. And then when you have enough data, when you have enough conversions, then you can start running Google Ads AI. And Google Ads AI is the huge ROI secret of doing Google Ads. This is research done by third party on 15,000 Google Ads accounts. And what they found is that, and what's relevant here is the bidding strategy and the ROAS, which is return on advertising spend, exactly the same as ROI. And what you can see here is that, and each of these rows is thousands of accounts. Yes, you can trust this data. So what you can see here is that manual CPC, on average, 137%. You spend 1,000, you get back 1,370. And maximize conversions, maximize clicks, target impression share in the same neighborhood. But what jumps out completely out of the ballpark is maximize conversion value, which has a ROAS of 575. And maximize conversion value is a strategy that requires Google Ads AI. This is the strategy that Google Ads AI does. What it does is it has a function that says maximize the value of the conversions that you provide. And then on hunting for the click side, it takes whatever signals it has about the user without knowing the user personally, but whatever the history, whatever it knows, I don't even know what it knows. But on the other side, it needs to have feedback to see if what it's sending is quality, and how much quality is each click to know how aggressive to bid for such clicks in the future, because it's learned. So so to explain this, Google Ads AI works only if it gets the right feedback, just like I said. And the more accurate the feedback, the better the AI performs. And keywords are not all created equal for specific apps. So one keyword might have a lot of value, another keyword might have less value. And also whatever happens after the install is relevant. So what Price does is it sends deep funnel events, installs or app installs, not just the clicks, but the actual installs on Shopify. Subscriptions, so when somebody agrees to your terms, either starts a free trial, or if you don't have a free trial, just agrees to your terms. And then when there's an actual payment, so when they actually make a transaction, which Shopify collects and pays you. What Price does is it calculates precisely each event by the keyword that it came from. So it looks like this. This is price conversion value reporting. You have the app install, the subscribe, which usually is also the start trial, and the paying customer. And you can choose to send custom values. Sometimes that's relevant when you're starting out, when you're still building your values. But when you have enough data over time in your BigQuery and price reads from your BigQuery, so even if you start Price now, if you have data in your BigQuery a year back, you'll have these values right away. What Price does is it calculates the value per each specific keyword, and it sends the exact values to Google AI. And when the AI gets the optimal feedback, the AI delivers optimal results. So that's how it works. And for ongoing optimization in your Google Ads, you should refine your negative keywords weekly. You add new keywords from price and Google suggestions, and you should test AI-based campaign types, and you should track your ROAS directly in Google Ads, and this is powered also by price data, and I'll show you in a second how this works. So even though it doesn't say the cost per click, so did I cover this part or did I forget just to say that? 1 second. If not, I just want to make sure I don't forget to cover it. No, I didn't. I must have forgotten to put it in the conversation, in the presentation, so I'll just say it now. The reason, yeah, forgot to say it. So the reason, despite the fact that Google Ads traffic converts much less than Shopify Ads traffic, and it still makes sense. There are two reasons. One is that the clicks are very, very cheap relative to in Google Ads relative to Shopify Ads. And the second reason is Google Ads AI. When Google Ads AI takes control of the bidding, the clicks are crazy low. I'm talking about single cent, like 15 cents, 17 cents. We have even accounts where it's single digit cents per click and still gets amazing ROI results. So in action, so this is one account. You can see here. So this is just to show not how the ROI, how the AI works, but how you can see the ROI in Google. So because Price sends the data both to power the AI and so you can see the ROI. So you can see the cost for these two campaigns. You can see how many conversions, cost per conversion, and then you can see conversion rate, and you can see the conversion value. Conversion value is the sum of all the events that are sent based on the traffic that was sent. And then what Google Ads does is it takes the conversion value, total value of the events, divides it by the cost, and does the return on advertising spend or the ROI. So this is exactly how you see it here. That's it for Google Ads. The next one is monetization and pricing. And this is a quote from Bessemer. Pricing is the most common untapped growth lever. Let's talk about opt-out versus opt-in benchmarks. Opt-out means that you take the credit card from the merchant or from the potential customer, and this is in general what you see these benchmarks. It's not just for Shopify apps. So the visitor to trial conversion rates for opt-in trial, which means from freemium, is about 15%. There's the two different types of traffic. We don't care. So about 15%. For opt-out trial, which means you start the trial, you know you will have to pay afterwards, but they don't take your credit card ahead of time. They'll ask you for your credit card and you'll start paying afterwards. So it's a little bit more friction than freemium, and you have much lower entry into the free trial, into the trial. And the worst is opt-out trial. And what does opt-out means? Opt-out means they take your credit card when you start, and then you have to opt out of the trial in order not to pay. Okay, here you have to opt into the trial in order to pay at the end of the trial. Here, by the end of the trial, you need to stop your free trial in order not to pay. And of course, this is the most friction because you ask your customers for their credit card, so it's very difficult to get them into the trial. But what happens after they start the trial? After they start the trial, or after they enter after they start the trial, for freemium, it's very, very hard to convert them into paid customers. It's very, very hard. Very small amount become customers. For opt-in, it's a little bit better in the teens. But for opt-out, if you got their credit card in the beginning, for opt-out, this becomes crazy 50%. Okay, so why doesn't everybody go for opt-out? Because when you do 2.5 times 50%, you're still going to be lower than freemium or opt-out. But this is in the wide world. This is not the case in Shopify. In Shopify, you don't need to take their credit card. You don't have all this friction. Why? Because Shopify has their credit card and Shopify does your billing. So there is no step where you have to ask the merchant to give you the credit card. And this means that you can take advantage of the statistic that you see here, the opt-out statistic, which is also true for Shopify. It's true everywhere, because you make the decision in the beginning. The decision doesn't involve pulling out your credit card, and then you have what's the word? So I forgot the word, but you keep on going. There's a word from physics, inertia, and then you have inertia in do nothing. And if you do nothing, you become a paying customer. And these are the stats, and they also are very similar to what you have in Shopify. I'll show you in a second for Shopify apps, of course. So what opt-out means for Shopify apps? It means no free plan, so freemium, no. It means that to start a trial, you subscribe. So you want to be in a trial, you're opt-out, and you don't have to pull your credit card. You just need to agree, this is my plan. I will pay either $9.99 or a maximum. So this is the third option, if usage-based max fee or subscription. So I will pay either whatever the tier I decided on, which is not free, but I start with a trial, or the max, which I also will start with a trial usually. So this is what it means to do opt-out. And if we look at monetization benchmarks, and monetization for me is moving from the install step to the subscribe step. So this is based on the apps connected to price. The average is 30%, but almost no apps are in this area. And the top quartile is 50%. So let me describe to you what I see as the apps connected to price, where they are. So the ones that are freemium are usually between 0 and 5%. And I promised you a story, it's coming now. And the ones that are tiers and maybe a little bit of freemium, but hardly usable freemium, so they optimize all this, they can be in the teens. And then almost nobody in this area. And then the next batch is around 50%, which is where you have the 100 of the 500 apps connected to price, so quite a few of them. And what they do special is that they have no free. Even if they do have a free plan, it's free plus kind of metric that you measure that is not really free, so they go through usage-based. So they can be pure usage-based, they can be tiers, they can be single tier, but no free. And this is where all the no frees hang out at 50% and higher, the top quartile. Okay, so how do you optimize multi-tier pricing? Even if you have no free or usage-based, you're still going to show something, and often this is multi-tier pricing. So best practices are use one metric, maximum two, don't use too many metrics, don't do metrics plus features. It just becomes very confusing and adds friction, and then the merchant doesn't know what he's going to get, and it reduces conversion rate. Analyze your current customers to optimize your tiers. Show your low tiers. So what this means is that take your customers, put them in do some analysis on them, and see how many fit into, let's say, up to 10 orders a month, up to 50 orders a month, up to 100, and then break it down so that you maximize your ARPU. You can model all this. And then when you show the pricing in Shopify in your App Store listing, show the low tiers and hide the more expensive plans under CO pricing options. And if you have no free, you can offer free for development stores. So let me show you a good example. So this is an app that has no free plan, but it seems to have free, and the free is really just for partner stores and development stores. So they get the benefit of looking free and also getting the badge of free at the top and also in search results, but they don't really have a free. And you can see from 0 to 50 orders, they already have a pricing plan. And if you look at their pricing, it goes only by one thing, which is monthly store orders. they have all their features open to all the plans. It just goes by order, so it's very clear to see how it works. And obviously, some apps are going to have more than 200 orders, and which means they're going to have to pay more. But this is hidden under CO pricing options. So what the merchant sees are your very friendly prices, and there's less friction in continuing the process of install. So the last piece we'll touch on is conversion. We'll go quickly because we're running a little bit short on time. So I say that funnel optimization is your best growth hack. And why is it your best growth hack? Because funnel conversion is a series of multiplications. So in fact, if you improve by 50% in one step, it's the same as 50% in another step, and it's the same as 50% on the whole funnel. Think of it as X times Y times Z, and you do 1.5X, it's the same as 1.5 XYZ. So 50% or 20% or whatever percent in one step is the same for overall. And if you do multiple steps with multiple improvements, then it accumulates. And if you do a 50% increase in conversion rate, that's equal to increasing 50% by all traffic sources. So whatever you're getting now from search or from organic search, you're going to get 50% more installs. Whatever you get from Google Ads, you're going to get 50% without doing anything else, without paying more for this traffic. So this is why I say it's the best growth hack if you have it, if you can improve your funnel. And most apps can. And also, if you improve your funnel, you can be more aggressive in marketing because you're more efficient in converting visits into paying customers, so you can bid higher. So this is how price shows your funnel as a series of steps from App Store visit to click install, from click install to install app. This is the event on the Shopify side. From install app to subscribe, this is when the merchant agrees to your terms. And from subscribe to the actual payment event, which can come a month and a half after subscribing. And not everybody who subscribes obviously becomes a paying customer. So it's important to know which ones do. And it shows for each app where you are relative to the mean and the top quartile. So you can quickly and easily see which step of the funnel you need improvement. And you can see this app must have a kind of tiers with minimal freemium based on the conversion rate, and we discuss how that can improve. So the next step, the next thing I want to talk about is App Store page conversion optimization. This is just for visitors coming to your App Store listing, how you convert them into installs. The average is 20%. Top quartile apps convert 50% higher. And what helps you convert? Review count and score. Everyone tries to increase reviews, so there's nothing you can do about this in the short term. You're always trying to improve, of course. The next thing is good use of visuals. So here's a good example by an excellent app called upsell.com. So you can put everything you want in these visuals. If you have a video, it doesn't need to be a screenshot of the video. But the clever thing that these guys did is they understand that there are some elements, if you have a video, that you can't touch, like this thing, this thing, this thing, and this thing. So this doesn't help you, but this thing can help you, the name of the video. And they work around all these elements to give you a value proposition, to help you understand what the product does, to give you some trust elements, and to show you exactly use cases of where you can use their product, all in one image on top of their video. So very effective. And in the part of the screenshots on the right, the important thing is to have copy that helps the user understand and get persuaded, which is big enough to see without needing to open, because few will actually open. So it needs to work together with this to persuade the merchant. So that's good use of visuals. Persuasive copy, quick example. So this is a value proposition. Collect and display product reviews and star ratings, build trust and boost sales with social proof. So it's not very strong for SEO because it doesn't have many SEO keywords, but it's very strong for persuasion as a value proposition. So it's important to convert to have persuasive copy. And also the other thing is pricing and presentation. I showed you an example, so no more examples. The next one is install to subscribe. So this is the steps between app install and subscribing. We already said that we want default subscribe, but what are the steps to put in between these 2 points? So in terms of conversion rate, we already discussed, we won't discuss again. So we want default subscribe, which means no free, which means we want the merchant to subscribe in order to start a trial. And what we want is to minimize the steps. The most I recommend, and do onboarding after subscribing. I've seen all kinds of things like full onboarding before subscribing, or of course, if you have freemium, then it makes sense, okay? But if it's not freemium, I've seen examples and many onboardings. So you have a few steps and all kinds of things. The idea is to minimize steps, and the most I think you should have, and also that's optional, only if you have tiers, you have to have it, but if you have maximum with usage base, you don't have to have it, is a pricing page. So you have install app, and then maximum pricing page, and then go straight to the subscribe page. Onboarding after subscribing. So the next one is, and the last one we'll do before we take some questions, is subscribe to new paying customers, conversion optimization. This is after the merchant subscribes. Usually it means they started the free trial. How do you maximize the conversion rate? So in terms of benchmarks, you can see that the mean is just over 40%, top quartile is 55%. So how do you get as high as possible? It's all about mostly about onboarding. So for onboarding, of course, we're not going to get into it in this presentation. So just some key ideas: simplify and minimize steps, embed. So do the Shopify look and feel and the types of buttons, and also some things that you do in Shopify that also in your onboarding that also affect Shopify for the merchant, or built for Shopify, which is a deeper way to do it. Throughout the onboarding, easy access to support, so live chat or knowledge base. And in your onboarding, you must take your merchant to a point of value that they're trying to get to. So they have finished everything, it's working for them, and they're going to start seeing value either immediately or very soon. And it should end in the dashboard. I've seen many onboardings which end somewhere, and there's a dashboard also somewhere, and there's no connection. So the onboarding, after you've done everything to get your at least first campaign or first thing that your app can do rolling, you take them to the dashboard, which is their homepage for your app, and everything should be accessible from there. That's it. Hope you had a good webinar. I'll take some questions. If you have anything that you want to ask me directly, you can send me an email. This is my email. And I urge you and invite you to connect your app to price. And now we're a little bit less than 10 minutes, but I'll take some questions. So if you have questions, please, now is the time. So let me just see the questions. Hold on a second. How do I get out? Okay, so questions. Excuse me 1 second. All right. Yes, there will be a recording to all of you, and thank you for all that stayed until the end. If the app doesn't have built for Shopify badge and you're running Shopify ads, what are you folks going to get qualified installs? Let's say stored. Yeah, so if you have built for Shopify, one of the perks is that you can target in Shopify ads only the premium plans. And then by definition, you're getting, not by definition, but nearly, you're getting the bigger stores. So that's what you can do. But if you don't, you can price accordingly. You can have your copy accordingly. You can in the banner where I showed you the example, you can talk about enterprise, big stores, but ultimately, if you're open for business for all sizes, then you'll get the mix of what comes in Shopify if you go by keyword. And for ASO, it's the same. If behind the keyword searches, you have a mix of small stores, big stores. Some keywords will have a mix towards bigger stores, some smaller stores. But if somebody's searching for upsell, you don't know if it's a big store or a small store behind that. So not much you can do about that. Just goes by averages. And somebody asked about the services, so just reach out to me afterwards. I'll be happy to tell you more. How can someone connect installs and reviews for a new app that doesn't have any rankings other than paid search? So what I hear from Shopify app developers over and over is by far the most effective way to get installs and to get reviews and good reviews is immediately after you give good support. They're grateful. They have kind of an engagement with you, and they'll give you the 2 minutes to write the review. So that's the most effective, and I haven't really heard of anything else that's really effective on scale. What price tiers do you recommend? This is app specific. It depends what your app does, how you measure value for your merchant, what your competitors do, how easy it is for the merchant to understand this measurement. So it really varies from app to app. Can you please refer any app that has the best pricing model, which are converting the most? So I've told you, I can't say specific apps, but I've told you that because I look at price at the apps that succeed, and this is how I learn, but only on the aggregate level. But I told you that the apps that do succeed, that do have the 50% plus conversion rate from install to subscribe, are the ones that have no free and are either usage-based or single tier. These are the two that usually have over 50%. Rarely you have a multi-tier with no free, but it's more difficult multi-tier with no free. Usage-based and single tier are the ones that get over 50%. Okay, so we're gonna end here unless there's one last question coming. Oh, there's more. Sorry. Okay, I'll try to answer. Where installs would come from? Where installs would come when there is no ranking on App Store other than paid search. Hustle, guys. This is when you have to hustle, social, outreach, whatever you can get. This is where it starts. Where installs would come from? Yeah, we have that. Does cold outreach work in Shopify apps? Yes, it does. This is how most apps start. With numbers, and it gets better when you have more reviews and more customers to showcase. But this is where you start. What are your thoughts on cold outbound? Is anyone seeing success with it? To start, you don't have much choice. You have to get this working for you. And yes, it also works over time, especially if you have the app and also are targeting bigger clients. So you can do outreach and you can work with partners, agencies, and you can get to customers this way. Okay, so all of you, thank you for staying all the way to the end. I appreciate it. I hope this was insightful for you, and I will be sending the recording to all of you, and hope to see you again in the future. Thank you, and have a good day. Bye-bye.